Hi folks, it's Shamash here, and I'm going to be sharing with you a story which could be quite useful both for yourself, for helping you kind of deal with or overcome difficult emotions in particular, difficult sensations, maybe difficult thoughts, but it's also useful for any clients that you may have as well. This is the story of the unwelcome guest at the party. So I want you to imagine that you've organised a party. Let's say it's a barbecue, it's the summer, you've invited all your friends, they've all come over, and you're all having a really good time. They all come over, you're outside, maybe you're in the garden, you're having a great time, you're laughing, the music's on, you're having a really fun time. But then someone rings the bell, so naturally you go off to the front door, you open the door, and it's a really annoying friend. It's a friend of yours that you really don't like, not really a friend, they were not really welcome there, you didn't invite them, and for this metaphor, they're kind of a bit stinky and they're smelly and they're rude, and so you notice them there and you don't answer the doorbell, but they keep ringing it again and again and again. So what do? You go back to your party, you try to ignore it, but all the time that you're talking to your guests, you can just keep hearing this ringing in the background, and you do all your different strategies to try and ignore it and avoid it and not actually hear that sound, but it keeps getting louder and louder in a way. So in the end, you go up to the door and you see if there's anything you can do, and somehow when you're letting somebody else in, he kind of gets his foot through the door and he starts pushing at the door, and you're not able to shut that door, so you just decide to kind of stand there and put your foot by the door to stop this unwelcome, smelly, yucky person who's really annoying and rude and frustrating from getting in. So you're pushing the door closed and trying to hold that door closed as much as possible, and he keeps pushing back, and somehow the stronger that you push that door to try and keep this guest out, this person who's not really your friend, who's trying to get into this party, the more he seems to push back. And meanwhile, all your other friends, they're having a great time. They're outside, they're in the garden, they're having this barbecue, they're laughing, they're having a great time chatting with each other. But this guest is just by the door, so you have to stand by the door and keep it closed. You do this for a while, and it's one way of keeping him out, but the problem is you suddenly realise that actually you're missing out on the party. You know, all the fun's happening there, and the whole point of the barbecue was to actually have a party and to have some fun and to see your other friends. So you make a decision. You're gonna start actually opening that door and just see what happens. So you open the door, the guest comes rushing in, and it's just like you expected. It's frustrating. He's rude, he's smelly, he's yucky, and he kind of hangs out with your other guests, and some of them are a little bit shocked, and at first it's a difficult, really difficult experience for you, and you don't know what to do. But over time, you start to notice that some people kind of quite like him, and there's something quirky about him, and actually there's some things you can actually learn from him, which you wouldn't have realised otherwise. So this guest, although he was someone that you thought would be just a negative experience and very frustrating and almost scared of him, actually when you let him in and you noticed how he interacted with the other guests, and when you started to interact with him and talk to him in a kind of a nice way, you started to get some positive feedback coming back. And the great thing is that you were not stuck by your front door while everyone's in the garden having a great time. You were able to notice him, but also notice all the other people too. And as you started to welcome him more and not really think about him too much, or worry about whether he's there or not or what he's up to, you actually start to have a really good time, and you sometimes just completely even forget about him because you're so engaged in the party and having such a good time. So this is the metaphor of the guest at the party. This guest, as you may have guessed, is representing your difficult thoughts. It might be things like anxiety or sadness or depression or frustration or urges that you're trying to overcome, or really tricky thoughts or negative thoughts about you or about other people or about the world. These are the unwelcome guests that we have, and usually we don't try and let them in, we try and push them out, so we avoid them, we deny them, we fight with them, we do anything but allow them in. But sometimes if we can just let them come in so that our focus is not on keeping that door closed all the time and keeping it pushed, but just, hey, come in, chat with the other guests and chat with myself. And you may not want them to be there, that is true, but there's something to learn from them when you can open up to them. So that's the metaphor of the unwelcome guest at the party. And yeah, feel free to recall that story anytime you're going through a tricky time, and know that actually this sadness or this anxiety, maybe instead of me trying to constantly avoid it and get rid of it, maybe there's something for me to learn from it. So let me just let this guest in and see what happens. If you really liked this video, then please like, subscribe, comment and share it with others. Thanks a lot for watching, and I've got other links. This is actually a story from an approach called ACT, Acceptance and Commitment Training. If you'd like to find out more, you can check out my blog using the links below, or you could even try one of our online interactive video courses, which I'll be starting soon. So check out the links below, do subscribe, and check out some of the other videos on ACT as well. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye for now.